You've done chiropractic, you've done physical therapy, the massage therapy, the morning stretching routine, maybe even consider surgery. Months of session, you do it diligently and you're still in pain. And every single time, the relief only lasts for days or two, and then you're back to where you first started. Now, if that's you, I want you to hear this before we go any further. Your back pain is not a back problem, and you need to stop reacting to where that pain is. Now, every single one of the things you tried before, think about it. Chiropractor, physical therapies, massage therapy, they tricked where the pain actually is, but not why you have this pain in the first place. Most back pain is not coming from your back at all. The research support this, the outcomes support this, and over 1,500 clients we've worked with support this. We've done over 50,000 hours working with people one-on-one. And my goal here today is not tell you what to do, but tell you what to think and to give you a better full pictures before you make your next decision. Because I wish somebody told me this before I was 15 years myself in chronic lower back pain. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you a simple invitation too, if you want my help and my team's help, so you can not only get back to daily tasks without bracing yourself, but also get back to activity and the sport you actually enjoy. You can take advantage of that as well. Now, before we go any further though, I wanna make sure upfront about who this video is for and who this isn't for, because I'd rather lose you now than waste both of our time. Now, this is not for you if you're dealing with severe medical emergency that needs surgical intervention right away. I'm not a doctor, this is not a medical device. I only have a master's degree in biomechanics and kinesiology. What I'm sharing comes directly from my experience working with 1,500 clients with chronic lower back pain over the past 6 years. This is not for you if you're looking for, some feel magic exercise or a quick fix. I spent years chasing those. They don't really exist. If that's what you want, I'm just genuinely not your guy. And this is not for you if you're not willing to put in at least 20 minutes a day. Now, this is for a person who used to be active or still is barely active, and you refuse to accept, this is just how things gonna be now. And this is for a person who actually want to understand their own body, not just follow a program blindly, but learn what's really going on so they can have the tool to keep themselves moving for the rest of their life. And this is for a person who's done enough chiropractors, recurrent physical therapist visit, enough temporary relief, and is ready to actually solve the root of your problem. And this is for people who value health, time, freedom, energy, and being present with your family over everything else. At least that's all I wanted. Now, if that's you, you're gonna find a lot of value in what I'm about to share today. Most people with chronic lower back pain have absolutely no idea what back pain actually is. For me, it started in summer of 2014. I was playing basketball on a weekend. I feel some pain. Now that summer, I played through pain like everybody else. And this is where everything kind of went downhill. I remember it's 2016, summertime again. I remember walking out of the third physiotherapist's office, sitting on the curb of the road, and I couldn't think, I couldn't focus, I couldn't pay attention to normal conversation with my therapist because the pain's there's all the time. It was a beautiful day, but all I could feel was defeat. They all say the same thing. Your MRI looks fine. Some herniation, some degeneration, some bulging disc, but not sure why you have so much pain. Have you tried, glute strengthening exercise, core strengthening, or maybe injections? And I clearly remember I was sitting on the curb of the road. I was extremely disappointed, and I genuinely, they're all trying to help, but they weren't listening to me. I mean, I tried all, and I genuinely don't think I have a weak glute, weak core, hip flexors. I mean, I've been athletic, weight training my whole life. I knew there's something else going on. At the time, my pain was 5 or 6 out of 10. Not just annoying anymore. I have to think about it constantly. I have to arrange my, whole life around it. I stopped taking the call from my friends. They invite me to play golf, and sometimes they crack jokes about it. And, I laugh with them, but on the inside, that, I just feel hopeless because, there's nothing I can do about it. I have to cancel family trips too. And 2017 come around, I gave it up. I didn't really do anything new and just, have a regular routine so I can maintain my body to feel okay. Other people could play right away. Meanwhile, I have to warm up 30 minutes before I could play at 50% capacity. And there was one moment that really hit me. It was springtime. I was about to propose to my wife, and I keep practicing getting down on one knee, but every time I get on there, I couldn't pick myself up. And because my back hurt so bad, and that moment as a man in my late 20s, that really broke something in me because I saw, if this is how I feel now, what about when I'm be 30s, 40, 50 look like, right? I couldn't imagine it. This is where I made a decision. I'm not gonna be a victim of my body anymore. I got my master's degree in biomechanics and kinesiology. After that, I spent over $100,000 on post-grad education just trying to understand what was actually going on. And by 2020, I get out of my back pain, not by training my back or my core at all. Instead, I focus on much bigger pictures on a global level. I start working with my nervous system, working with my imbalance, use asymmetrical training, working on my movement instead of just focusing on a specific muscle group. And this is where everything started to change for me. My pain went from 7 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10 and then to 1 out of 10 in the period of 8 months. Now I can play 18 holes of golf, weight train, and walk 12K steps on the same day with no problem whatsoever. All I need just 1 hour a week to maintain. And here is what I finally understood. Most back pain is not coming from your back at all. Your spine right here just made of a vertebrae stack on top of each other. Now between each vertebrae, there's a disc. So think about it like a jelly donut. The disc as a shock absorbers. It cushions the load between each vertebrae. Now, however, if your hips, your ankle, your thoracic spine, your nervous system, they're not working properly, you're loading your spine the wrong way with every step you took every single day. Of course, you're gonna feel a lot of pain, but the pain itself is not a whole picture. And just treating your lower back because you have back pain is like, okay, you have one flat tire and you assume that one flat tire is the root of your problem while your car is completely out of alignment. Sure, you feel the pain, the MRI shows the damage, but the damage is already done. The more important question to ask is, why do you have this one flat tire in the first place? That right there is the reason why everything I've tried before didn't really work out. And if you want to see this in your body right now, you can just try this. Lay on your back, bend both your knee, and bring your knee as close as possible towards your glute, and then just drop your knee towards the side. You can do right side first, left side first, doesn't matter, but you want to stop as soon as the shoulder come off the ground. You want to stop there right away. How different do they feel if one side moves better compared to the other? And that's imbalance, that's the asymmetry I'm talking about. And you can do another one. You can do trunk rotation. Again, doesn't matter which side, see how that feels. Can you feel the difference? If one side moves better than the other, well, that's asymmetries. That means your upper body and your lower body all twisted toward different directions. And that gap right there is why nothing you've tried has lasted, because nobody addressed it. And here is what happened after you have lower back pain for more than 2 years. We call it the 4-layer of pain cycle. Layer number 1, the structural imbalance. At some point, your body starts loading asymmetrically, trying to protect, again, the painful area. Maybe your one hip carry all the way than the other. Maybe your pelvic tilted forward or backward into anterior pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt, or a partial imbalance. And the wrong muscle overworking while others completely switch off. Everybody's pain shows up a little bit different, but all your body was trying to do was to protect this painful area, your lower back. That asymmetrical loading pattern put uneven pressure on the disc every single day unconsciously over months, over a year, until the disc can't really handle it anymore. And that shows up as herniation, as bulging disc, as sciatica, as degeneration. Everybody just, again, hurt a little bit differently because of how your body compensates. Layer number 2 is your nervous system protection. The moment the pain shows up, your nervous system launch a protection response. Muscle around the area start breathing, guarding, and the muscular guarding increase more compression around that disc. The very first thing your nervous system is trying to protect is already being compressed by the uneven load. Now you're just trying to compress even harder. Layer number 3 is your balance compensation. Your body has completely recalibrated how you move around your lower back, change how you load your spine, change how you distribute your body weight every step you take. Maybe you have duck feet, and those compensations are now baked into every movement you do on a daily basis, reinforcing the same loading pattern that damaged the disc in the first place. A layer number 4 is your visual system. Your eyes feed roughly 90% of the information your nervous system uses to assess threat. When the visual system is compensating because your whole balance is off, your eye keep feeding a threat to already overloaded nervous system. Keep the protection program running, keep the pain level really high, even when you're just sitting in your desk. All 4 layers feed each other every single day, make your pain worse. And this is why managing your pain is not good enough. Managing your pain doesn't give your body a reason to heal. If you're still loading that disc unevenly every single day, if your nervous system is still running the protection program, if your movement patterns are still compensated, the environment that damaged the disc in the first place is still fully intact, you simply cannot rest your way out of a structural imbalance. You cannot massage your way out of a nervous system protection program, and you cannot adjust your way out of a compensated movement pattern. Your disc needs space to heal. The spine needs to be loaded correctly so the disc can rehydrate and recover. Your nervous system needs to come out of that protection mode so your muscles stop compressing the discs from the inside. Your nervous system needs to be actively retrained so you stop loading the same spot on your disc every single day. You have to give your back a reason to heal, not just rest more and manage the pain around it. That means you have to address all 4 layers in the right sequence. And here's a sequence of what I do with my client. Pillar number 1 is full body assessment. Your assessment is the number 1 thing that makes everything else work. Without your assessment, you're just completely waste your time, because rather than guessing what's wrong and chasing the symptom after symptom like what you've been doing, we want to make sure we identify exactly where your chain broke and fix everything altogether. Even more important than that, a really good assessment should give you a measurable baseline. Week after week, you can see your progress, not just feel better, but you can see improvement in your assessment as well. This is what keeps people on track when things feel slow, because what gets measured gets done. If you don't measure progress, there's no way you're gonna know. That is why most people cycle through chiropractic, physical therapies for years with no end, because there's no measurable progress, and the assessment fills that gap. And here is exactly what it looks like. We're gonna send you all the assessment video, you're gonna record it, and we're gonna do it all together live on the call. Hip internal rotations, pelvic rotation, thoracic rotation. We're gonna see your postures, we're gonna see your squat, everything. What we're looking for is the angle and the asymmetry, because the left side and the right side are almost never the same. What we find gives a clear map of exactly where your chain is breaking down and by how much. One of my clients, a software engineer, we spent close to $80,000 over 10 years on chiropractic and massage therapies, came to me with x-ray. The chiropractor had identified that his pelvis was tilted and one hip was higher than the other, but they never fixed it because they were only trying to look at the spine. Now, in our first session, just from the movement assessment, no x-ray, we identified exactly what was off and why. He told me this.
None of these people, none of them test your range of motion. None of them. 0% of the time. The only time I had one chiropractor take x-rays to look at my body was the only time, but you were able to determine the same thing that he was able to determine without taking any x-rays. You just told me, hey, how about we do this, we do this, we do these assessments, we do these assessments. You're like, okay, this is how your hips are, this is how it is. You know, like, you didn't need x-ray for that. You know, and by improving that range of motion, you know, like, now you know, your body changed, you notice big differences.
And this is why you have to do an assessment first. Pillar number 2 is your nervous system reset and asymmetrical training. If you choose to keep loading your body without resetting your nervous system first, well, you just become stronger in a wrong position. You're gonna have more flared up every time you push your body really hard. But if you choose to work in the right sequence, in the right amount, this work will become so addictive, because not only your body gonna feel better right away on the spot, but also you can still see the improvement tomorrow morning. We work in 3 phases, and you always follow this order. Now, first, that will be your nervous system reset. You're gonna use breathing, a lot of other technique, your eye drills that down-regulate the threat response and teach your brain that movement is safe again. Most people with chronic back pain just jump right into strength training. And I get it, you wanna feel something, you wanna feel like you're doing something. I made the same mistake myself. The problem is, if your nervous system has already in this protection mode for years, your brain has learned the movement equals danger, so it guards, and no amount of exercise can override that signal, because that signal is directly coming from your brain, not your muscle. And this is why you can do 6 years of physio and feel exactly the same. The body didn't accept the changes because the nervous system never get a message that it was safe to let go. One of my clients, a squash player, was 10 years of lower back pain, spent over $20,000 on physio, massage, and equipment, described what happened just after 10 days of dedicated nervous system work.
So 2.5 months ago, multiple times a day I was lying on the ground just to be able to do the most basic functions of daily life. When I wasn't playing any sports or doing anything, I couldn't pick up anything off the ground. Putting on socks was a nightmare. So much pain, like 9 or 10 out of 10 pain. And now I woke up and it was just completely gone, and nothing has any kind of lasting effect on me. All my daily activities are fine. I just feel like I finally have this barrier around my low back. I just couldn't believe what kind of resiliency I had.
That click is what happened when nervous system finally lets go. Second phase will be asymmetrical training. We're gonna train each side of your body differently, specifically based on exactly what your assessment shows. Now, if your left hip has 40% left internal rotation than your right, you don't get to do the same exercise on both sides of your body. Your left side get exactly what is needed to catch up. And we're gonna do that across your body. So nothing get loaded before it's ready. And this is how you actually balance your body's out. If you just do the same exercise on both sides of your body, which is what every physio, every online program, everything you ever tried before do, you're still imbalanced because you're just doing the same thing on both sides of your body. Phase 3 is loading. This is where most people want to get to, but you want to make sure you have a really good foundation first. You don't want to do strength training right off the bat. If you do that, you're basically making your body stronger when your body is already jacked up. Remember, always do it in the right sequence and the right order. If you jump right into asymmetrical training and the imbalanced training without a really good nervous system, nothing will stick around. Now, if you jump right into phase 3, making your body stronger without making sure your body is a balance, well, you're gonna have a flare up every time you push yourself too hard. One of my clients, a gym owner, 20 plus years of lower back pain, couldn't put his shoes on without 10 out of 10 pain when we first get started. His wife told him he moved like 80 years old, pain-free in just 10 weeks. Now he squat without thinking about it. He said this to me.
What's your body feeling? It feels like I'm floating because my body doesn't know. My body has dealt with so much back pain for years, and just subconsciously, I just realized I'm like, or just consciously, I guess, not subconsciously, I'm like, man, I haven't had any back pain, and it feels weird to not have it there anymore, at least this week, and it feels like I'm floating. I haven't felt this feeling, and I guess this is what it feels like to be normal. You know, my body feels like, I'm like, wait a minute, this is strange. Like, I can't explain it. I've had this pain for so long that I'm walking without any pain. You know what I mean? And it's strange.
All because we follow the right sequence and the right amount, and you should do that too. Otherwise, you will pay. And we call this stupid tax, more flare up, because those are the things that you can easily avoid. Now, moving on to pillar number 3, that's your lifestyle protocol. Lifestyle protocol isn't about adding more thing to your plate. It's about making sure that 23.5 hours outside of your session are reinforcing your progress instead of undoing everything else. We're going to audit your daily environment, build a protocol around it, your sleep routine, your deck setup, your footwear, your warm-up routine before any activities, your daily reset routine after sitting all day at work. Everything is specific to you. One of my clients in finance dealing with lower back pain for 7 years, he was making pretty solid progress throughout the program, and then we hit a plateau. Well, look at everything. Turns out he was sleeping wrong. So we just made one adjustment about his sleep position. He told me the following week, one simple adjustment, 20% improvement.
Probably like 7, 8, 9 at times. So it was pretty bad. And the frustrating thing about it was at times it was on the left, other times it was on the right. It just kept shifting. You know, it's been kind of down to like 0 or 1, but kind of more often it's been 0. So the latest kind of tweak that we did in a sleeping position has really helped, because I feel like not only did it help with the morning stiffness, but also I feel like it added another 10 to maybe 20% improvement to my overall kind of feeling throughout the day. So
pillar number 4, body mastery. This pillar is all about building independency, because the goal was never for you to need me forever. My goal for you is to understand your own body. When something came up, let's say 3 years from now, you still know exactly what it's telling you and exactly what to do about it. I tell people in my company all the time, we're not here just to guide you through the program. We're teaching you how to think, what to think, how to get out of your flare up, how to learn and get data from your past pain, how to integrate your reset exercise with the gym training so you can train smarter, get more muscle without injuring yourself again, etc. By the time we are done, you're not dependent on a coach or chiropractor, physiotherapy, doctor, or anyone else. And that's the whole point of this. I genuinely don't want you to come back to me. If you watched this far, you're probably not somebody who's just casually curious about your back pain. You already know something needs to change. You've known that for a while, and that's why you're still watching this video. The question is how much longer you're willing to wait before you do. So here is my invitations. If what I shared today makes sense, if the logic matches what you already lived through, then take the next step. Click the link down below to book an assessment call with my team. We'll look at your situation. We tell you honestly whether we think we can help and what would that look like. If that's a fit, great. If not, you still walk away with more clarity than you come in with. You don't have to have everything figured out before you reach out. You just have to be ready to stop waiting. The link is down below. And if you're not ready yet, I understand, but just remember this. Back pain is progressive. What you're feeling today is a ceiling, and it's only gonna go down from there if you do nothing about it. I'm not trying to say this to scare you off. I'm saying this as somebody who's been through this for a decade myself. The best time to fix this was 5 years ago. The second best time is today. Every week you wait, your body compensates a little bit more. Another moment where your mind says yes and your body says no. You become less happy and less yourself, and there's no perfect time to do it. There's never will be. You just have to make a move, and then you see what the outcome is, and then you go from there. I genuinely hope we all live with a little bit healthy urgency, not out of fear, but because we all know what it feels like to be trapped below our own potential. You already know what you're capable of. Your body just needs to catch up. I really hope the next time I hear from you is you're back doing something you love.